You're not excited.
For me, 11.
Okay.
Come on.
South Korea.
1 minute.
1 minute to go. Go. Waiting for the teams. Good.
Hey, Korea. Yeah. Cambodia.
Stefan.
Here. Come on. Hurry. Cambodia. Okay.
You can do several speeches.
Come on. Korea.
Welcome back to the Homeless World Cup 2017, the 15th edition of the tournament. We are live in Oslo on the Roadhouse Plassen on the Oslo Fjord between that and the Nobel Prize building. Really is a fantastic setting here in Norway.
Velkommen til Sør-Korea og Cambodia. Give a warm welcome to South Korea and Cambodia.
South Korea v Cambodia here. Cambodia have been very impressive. Let's see how South Korea fare. I'm about to be joined by our daily dose of Craig Williams.
Hello.
Hi Craig, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you very much.
Craig joins us daily to keep us up to date on some of the cool stories that are taken from the players or staff or even the referees sometimes in this tournament. Who have you been talking to since we last spoke, Craig? Any particular stories stand out?
Yeah, this morning I was speaking to one of the Mexican coaches who herself was a player back in 2013. So, yeah, that was really good. Really interesting.
Oh, yeah? So, play about to get underway here. We'll ask you more about that in just a minute.
So, obviously, being a player, she's had the experience of the tournament previously, and she can pass that on to the players. And not only that, she was the women's captain, and they won the tournament in Poznan in Poland back in 2013.
Really? So she's still involved?
Yeah, she was bitten by the Homeless World Cup bug, so as soon as she finished the tournament, she decided to kind of stay involved with it and try and just kind of add her own experience and weight to it.
Cambodia coming close there. And they finally find the net. That's number 10.
For Cambodia. This was the first goal.
Soklesom.
And I asked the Mexican coach, is it more difficult being at the side of the park, you know?
Not being able to play it?
Yeah, having that experience. He said, oh, you don't even know the half of it.
She just wants to be out there?
That's it, yeah. She's trying to kind of channel that frustration and just encourage our players to do the best they can do. And it was interesting. It's not just about obviously the win, taking part, and she gave us a bit of insight into the kind of background and what the Mexican coaches and the system do to try and kind of rehabilitate the Mexican players who participate in the Homeless World Cup tournaments. So they look at the psychological aspect of it, their fitness as well. It's really important. A lot of the Mexican team, both female and male, come from really deprived parts of the country. Problems with alcoholism, drug abuse.
Good block there by the Korean number 6.
So
Jin Soon back.
Fantastic.
Cambodia just passing it well in front of the Korean nets.
I'm hoping to get the chance to speak to some of the Cambodian coaching staff, because I believe that the system that they have there in the country was set up by 2 Scottish chaps a few years ago. Yeah. It just shows you the kind of spread and reach of the game, and yeah, it's always interesting, surprising to speak to people involved in their own country's setup who are not actually from the country themselves.
Yeah, the Indian coach is a Scotsman.
We travel far, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't just inventions, it's football as well. Even if I wish we were actually just as good as some of the coaches are.
Penalty for Cambodia here. It's going to be number 10, Sokla Som, to take it. Saved by the Korean keeper, but it will be another penalty because he came out of his box.
Yeah, seen that there. Maybe he was a bit too eager to try and get the block.
Here's the captain. Another good save by the Korean keeper. Play will start again.
Looked as if he might have crept out there a little bit, but the referee just kind of shook his head and just said to him, let's get on with it.
That was Jong Soon Man. So halfway through the first half now, it's Cambodia 1, Korea 0. This is a Group F clash. South Korea yet to get any points in the second stage. Cambodia with 3 points. Remember, if you've enjoyed watching the Homeless World Cup, please do head over to homelessworldcup.org, where you can find out a lot of information about the tournament, how it works, the fixture list, the groups, the results. It's all still to play for all of these teams. There's 6 trophies to win, 3 in the women's as well.
Also, yesterday got the chance to speak to some of the Israeli players and the coaching staff, and it was interesting to note that one of their coaches, a former full professional himself, used to play for Hapoel Tel Aviv.
Wow.
And he represented Israel in under-19s and under-21 European Championships a couple of decades ago. And he admitted to me that he felt like this was a better tournament than the tournaments he actually played at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to represent his own country. And the reason being is that the reason he gave was that when he played for Israel in the under-19s and under-21s tournaments, when he finished the matches, if he lost, it would be heads down, back to the hotel, wouldn't speak to his teammates apart from try and obviously place the blame on whoever made a mistake or that kind of thing. Whereas here, obviously with the kind of spirit of respect and cooperation in the tournament, even if you lose a game, the players join hands with their opposition players. And it just kind of forces you to
interact.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, whether you like it or not, you know.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot in this tournament. Players might be very upset or angry if they lose, if they're unhappy with decisions or whatever, but they do come out in the pitch at the end and do the traditional run up to the fans and wave.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely human and normal that if your team get beat heavily or you lose a last-minute goal, you lose the game right at the death, then you're going to be unhappy. But again, you just need to forget there's a bigger picture here, you know.
Good save there by Jong Soon Man. Another penalty for Cambodia. Saved again by the Korean keeper with his feet this time.
Another penalty though.
Did he come out of his box?
He needs to stay inside of his box. He's doing everything perfectly, spreading himself well, but just stay inside his area there.
Oh, they finally find the net. That was Sokla Som.
He came out again, did you see that?
He did. I think the referee was just happy to let the goal stand. Another goal for Cambodia. 3 now at the half-time mark. Pace not as quick as we're used to with this Cambodian side.
Yeah, it's not as frantic. It seems to be a bit laboured by both sides. Hoping for more kind of energetic displays from the second half and really some more attempts at goal, some more kind of flowing movement and passing.
Players, I imagine, are pretty tired after 6 days of football, has it been now?
Yeah, they're playing. This is the 6th day, so three games a day, sometimes 4. Obviously with that half day we had 2 days ago, but it takes a lot out of them, not just on the park. They've got their preparation.
They've got warm-up, they've got training.
Yeah, and they have to factor in eating times and times where they can rest.
Yeah, it was amazing to see the professionalism of some of the players when they had the option to go to see Norway, Azerbaijan. We were gifted tickets by was it Salvation Army sorted those tickets?
Yep.
Given to them by the Norwegian FA. And some of the players who had never even been to a stadium in their lives were more interested in staying home, getting some rest for the following day's action.
I mean, it was a kind of once in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of players, but in saying that, there was also the added problem, as it were, that some of the home nations were performing in their own World Cup qualifiers.
So they wanted to watch them.
Yep, they were wanting to cheer their team on, to the detriment of the Norwegian support, because maybe 300 plus.
They were louder than the Norwegian fans.
Yeah, and I've heard that the head of the Norwegian Football Association contacted the Homeless World Cup organising team just to say a big thanks, because they made the difference, you know.
Certainly did.
It was like the Rio Carnival inside the stadium.
It was. It was very, very loud in there. They didn't stop chanting and cheering the whole game. It was great. Here's Sarre. Sokla. Good challenge by the Korean number 7 there. That is Che Hite. Sack pitch with the shot. Goes wide. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, please head over to homelessworldcup.org/donate to give what you can. If everyone who watched the tournament last year gave just $10, the Homeless World Cup Foundation could help a further 30,000 people to find a way out of homelessness. So please head on over to homelessworldcup.org/donate, or else just search Homeless World Cup. Thank you. So 3-0 to Cambodia here. Nice turn there by Sarre, and a great finish by Sakpich. Well worked goal there by Cambodia.
Yeah, it was something pretty special. A wee Zidane turn there to away on his teammate. We've seen a lot of great skill
We
over the tournament.
really have.
You know, skill that wouldn't look out of place on an international stage or with a club team in Europe or around the world.
What a great story that would be to be discovered at the Homeless World Cup.
Yeah, and another thing that's been interesting is that throughout the tournament you can see the players that are watching the other teams, they're copying the moves that they've been impressed with by the teams of the other nations. So for example, Mexico's number 10 in the men's team, he loves a wee dink over the keeper instead of putting it to his left or his right, and you've seen a lot of teams pick up on that, and they're trying it, some not as successfully as the Mexican player, but it's been interesting. It's just a kind of melting pot of people, and a real kind of opportunity for them to try new tricks on the park and make the most of it.
Here's Sokla with the shot. Good save by Jung. (4-0) to Cambodia here now with 4 minutes left to play. Koreans just content to play at their own pace rather than any kind of speed.
I think for some of the teams it's just about participating, just
Certainly.
being here.
Oh, great goal there by the Korean number 10, Kim Yong-do.
Certainly got the
Great
crowd
goal.
going there.
That was a great goal there.
I think it's worth reminding people that it's a lot of the teams aren't being picked on ability.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of people who deserve to be there for turning their lives around.
Exactly, almost as if it's a kind of trophy in their own right for their rehabilitation and recovery.
It must be really, really special to be brought across the world to play football when maybe a few months previous you were homeless. You didn't have a roof over your head, or you had mental illness or substance abuse problems, and now you're in Oslo playing football.
I mean, for some people, I was speaking actually to one of the Israeli players yesterday. He's still really trying to come to terms with it all, you know, given the kind of change that's taken place in his life over such a short period of time. And a lot of them feel like full internationals, given the crowds hearing our national anthems play as they were at the start of the tournament, and the strips that they're wearing.
I think this Cambodian player is okay. He just possibly took a little knock.
I think he kicked one of the opposition players there as he went for the ball, and it's just...
It doesn't look like he can walk on his own at the moment. There might need to be a stretcher.
It's interesting to note that many, if not all, of the medical staff here are volunteers themselves, so giving up their own free time to be here and to be part of this wonderful tournament.
Let's hope he's okay. As the days go by in this tournament, you are seeing players, more and more players, either on crutches or bandaged up. It takes a lot out of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like platoon, you know, as the days goes on. Especially with the bad weather, there's been a lot of slippages, a lot of people putting their weight onto their hands, and you've seen fingers getting doubled back and dislocations. And
yeah, Caroline Brun for Norway has a hand injury, which rules her out of the rest of the tournament. She must be pretty upset by that.
I think it's especially important for the teams that are really going for the big prize, you know, to stay fit, to stay injury-free. It's not something that they might have been used to before, having played so much football over the past week or so. So credit to the coaches and the backroom staff that are here with the teams, that they are really kind of focusing on that and really trying to emphasise how important it is to eat well, sleep well, recover well, and to warm up properly before the matches.
Certainly.
I mean, you've got every nook and cranny here. You'll see a team warming up, you'll see a team in amongst the public, you'll see a team down at the harbour there with people queuing to get on boats.
Yeah, plenty of stuff to do around the Roadhouse Plassen. It's a hive of activity. Yesterday we saw thousands of people come through here, stay and watch the football. Norway had some great support. They were unlucky not to be victorious yesterday. Came close twice. Penalty shootout with Italy. It was a very exciting shootout.
Yeah, I was speaking to the Norwegian goalkeeper yesterday evening, and I just asked him, obviously, how did you get on? I didn't manage to catch their two matches yesterday. Even though they get beat, it's still for them, you know, he himself was reiterating how thankful he is to be part of the side and the great support that they have. And you know, they feel like celebrities as soon as they step onto the park.
The support from the home crowd is brilliant to see.
And another good thing is when you have a women's team or a mixed team alongside the men's team, and you'll see their counterparts in the stands really cheering on them.
Really cheering them on. I watched Ireland on pitch 3 earlier in a really important clash against South Africa, and the women's team were in the stands cheering them on. Very nervous victory for Ireland in the closing stages of that game. They are through to the quarterfinals now, so they are delighted, and you could see how much it meant to both teams when both the Ireland women's team and the men's team when the men won.
Yeah, because when you think about it, you've got maybe you're playing for your own side, but you have to remember that there's other people from your country representing the nation as well, so you need to get yourself together and
The men's team just ran straight over to the women's team, embraced, cheering, screaming. They were absolutely delighted. Cambodian player bandaged up. Looks like his tournament might be over. Took a heavy knock to that knee.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and nice to see the spirit of fair play there by the other teams around. The Polish team, for example, getting ready to play next, applauding the player off the park.
Sare Singh, that was. He's been really, really good for Cambodia. He'll be very disappointed with that injury. Here's Socha. Sovata skips past number 6 for Korea. That was back. Sochat just couldn't get power on that.
I would hazard a guess and say that Bach is a good 20 years older than some of the players he's facing today.
And he scored an absolute peach of a goal in the first half.
It just shows you, you know.
In the second half it was, in fact.
Yeah, it just shows you. It doesn't matter your age.
Yeah, there's a few middle-aged players, we shall say, in this tournament that have impressed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the Peruvian players, he's in his mid to late 50s, and for him it's like entering into a second youth.
He's been impressive, that's for sure. Peru come up against Portugal at 4:40 p.m. on pitch 1, so stay tuned for that. Should be a good game. You've got Coco and Lolo and Romain for Peru who've stood out. So Cambodia victorious here against South Korea on pitch 1. Next up we've got Slovenia v Poland in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Sit up, yes. You, Emmanuel. Okay, let's go.